What we're going to be doing is we're going to be changing one of these. This is a bottom sash. This is before and after. This is the bottom sash on a sash window. The lady wants it just as one piece of glass. So that's what it looks like before we start. We've rubbed it down a little bit, and this is what it's going to look like after it's finished. And what we're going to be doing is we're going to be filming the process so you can see how we do it. This is a method. There are countless methods, but this is one method, because we have to break these joints. And the way we do it is on this side, this is the outside, we cut all the way through to the back of the glass. On this side, we cut all the way through the muntin or glazing bar, whatever you want to call it, but we don't go all the way down there. We go to this level here, and that will become apparent in a moment. We're not worried at all about the glass breaking. Now, what we have to do is we have to keep this line all the way through. So we don't cut there, we cut back here. Now the reason I'm going backwards and forwards is so that I can get the point of the blade right down below the level of the glass. By going down like that, I actually cut through between the glass. That's the theory. What happens in practice is it sometimes goes wrong. What we've got to do is film it, yeah. So we've got to take the glass out, and in order to take the glass out, we've got to take the face putties off. Now, there's so many ways to do this, and this is just one of the ways. He said, looking around desperately for the chisel. Go to see if we can, if it comes loose. The putties are fairly loose. Yeah, so all we do is we turn it over and become extremely violent. Yeah. Now what we've got to do is get the glass out. So that's the centre of the sash coming out. take the bits of glass out. Now it's easiest, well there's many ways to do this, but these are glazier's pliers, so they actually grip and are very tight and without breaking the glass too often. Yeah, and just pull the glass out. You have to be careful here because you only get one set of hands. When I get up to heaven, I'm going to remind His Lordship that we need more than one pair of hands when we work. If we're just in an office, it doesn't matter. But on a job, you need more. Now that bit there and that bit there are very difficult to get out of because they go up into a rebate in there. That last little bit is stuck up there. So what we're going to try and do, rather than trying to manhandle it out, we're just going to use the force of gravity. And that takes that bit of glass out for the most part. You'll see along there, there's still bits of glass. So that's why it's so dangerous to reach in with your hand, with your bare hands, he said, with bare hands. You'll see that the glass is still in there. It very often gets trapped in there. So what we have to do is we have to lever that out. If you remember, we cut off along this line and there's still little tags left on. Yeah, so all we've got to do is knock them off. That's it. That one's already come off. That one will probably be the trickiest. At the top, the top of the bottom rail is always the tricky bit. So having done that, what we're going to do is we're going to clean up the insides of the frames. And the way we do that is with what is essentially a rough sander. It's a 115 disc on an angle grinder, a small angle grinder. Now that's a 24 grit paper on a rubber wheel. We can actually clean up glass with this. I know nobody believes me, but it is very, very simple to do. So now we've done all that, we've got all those straight. Now what we've got to do is take out all of the putties. Now you can ship these out one at a time, and it's a long, laborious process. So what we do is we take it back we don't try to take it all out. Unless it comes out. Sometimes it comes out with ease, but like this one, it doesn't want to come out. Now, in order to get these clean and ready for glass, we take a small 500 watts router with a straight bit. I always buy, these are the only things I ever buy that are cheap because we go through so many of them. This is a self-made contraption, yeah, and it's actually from a trim router bit jig. I'll show you that later. But we set that so that we take the minimum off at one time. When I say the minimum, a reasonable amount, but we don't want to do this all in one go. You see what I do? Plug it in. Now what we've got to do is clear that channel out. For that, we use a different router bit, which is this one here. And we set it to the depth we want. So, you'll notice that that's still relatively full. And so what we do is we run this along it several times. If you look in there, you'll see that that's nice and clean, but it's not the same depth as the outer casing. So what we do is we wind it up a little bit. Use the right one. Take it up a little bit. Now it's almost ready for glazing, almost. There's a couple of things we need to do. If you notice down here, this joint has been filled at some point or another, so the window, the sash will have splayed. We're going to break that open and bind it all back together again, very firm. So you saw it at the beginning, where we had the 4 lights. This is the way it looks now. That's glazed, beautiful putties there. On this side, you would never notice, once it's painted, you'll never notice that this was a 4 light bottom sash. Now, just for clarification, lights means the bit of glass in the frame. Okay, that's it.